gravity. I think, sorry. As you can tell, I just saw Wicked, and I'm obsessed with that movie now. Anyway, everybody know about the Wizard of Oz, but I didn't fuck with the Wizard of Oz like that until I saw Wicked, and now I'm like fucking heavy with it. Because Ariana Grande was funny as fuck, and I think her name was Cynthia Rose. She was amazing too. It's basically her movie, and Ariana Grande is like playing second. But oh my god, it's such a great movie. Wait, this is a Dr. Stone video. Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry. Here at the Everything Anime Podcast, I'm from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, whatever relevant topic I talk about. Today's video is on Dr. Stone chapters 151, Dr. Xeno, and Stanley Snyder. Now, I know that intro is kind of random. Like I said, I just saw Wicked last night, and the fucking soundtrack is like playing it over and over again in my head. Fucking amazing. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm already behind. I'm supposed to have the Bioshock video out by Thanksgiving, and that's looking like crunch time right now because I've not even started recording. Everything is done. I just have to upload the recording. I'd start recording myself talking about it, chop it all together. Hopefully it'll be out by Thanksgiving. We'll see. And then I have Epic Mickey to finish, and then Rise of the Ronin, which I bought like back in March, but I was kind of busy back then, so I ain't had time to game. Anyways, guys, let's talk about Dr. Stone. That's what you're here for. So, with Kohaku's Ultimate Eyes, we can confirm that whoever this mysterious, it says woman, but again, I know it's a man. Whoever this mysterious man is, and his ally, they are indeed the corn makers, because we know that obviously a scientist is out here harvesting corn. Like, obviously, corn's not going to grow by itself. Like, yes, there are some things that grow by themselves, but like how we grew bread back in the Shigami village, that took labor. That took us. It took Senku science as well as like hard labor. So, whoever this mysterious ally is, that's with this. Well, I already said his name previously, but Stanley Snyder. That's who is obviously creating this corn, and that's who we need to meet. So, again, as far as we know, they might think that we're the Y Man, so we can't confirm, like, oh, these guys are bad guys, but they are trying to kill us currently. So, approach with caution, you know what I mean? So, before we can even make our next move, we're going to have our scouting team check out the area. That's right, the usual Gan, Kohaku, and Chrome, basically our foot soldiers. They were our scouting team back in Ishigami Village when we were looking for oil. We needed Kohaku for Ultimate Eyes, Chrome because of like his exploration abilities, because Chrome's a scientist, but he's also like his best thing is like being out in the field, and then Gan, a mentalist in case they run into enemies or things like that. Or they just were mapping out the map they were looking for oil, but then they realized like Japan had changed drastically. So that's what it was. So they're our scouting team. Now, if you're wondering why they just don't use the plane that they just acquired, that's because the engine is busted. So even though we acquired Stanley Snyder's plane, the engine corroded because of the stuff that Senku threw on it, or had Kurosama throw on it. They don't have the tools to create a new engine just yet for it, but I figured eventually it's going to happen because obviously we're not going to ignore the plane. That's our next step again to reaching a spaceship. I don't know why I didn't think of baby steps to the airship. The spaceship. We went from building a ship. You've seen the whole process, but even building a ship, I think they started out big from the start. No, they had a sailboat at one point, and then they built up to a massive ship. So, yeah, I think a plane is like a first start to do it. As the scouting team, Kohaku, Gen, and Chrome. I forgot my favorite character's name. I don't know where my mind went. I went blank for a second. You saw that? As they're scouting around, they get closer to the enemy's base, and Gen gets a sense that the enemy's luring them in. He's like, this is too easy. This guy had a plane, and obviously he spotted us 2 seconds into the plane, but he's been after us this whole time, trying to gun us down and kill us, whether he knows we're enemy or not. So there's no way, we're just exploring around, and this guy doesn't have an eye on us. After having his mentalist skills, Gen feels like his mentalist skills are being challenged again because in poker, he lost to Kohaku and Gen. I mean, he lost to Kohaku and Senku. And Gen teamed up with Ryusei. So Gen feels like, oh, he has no intention of losing twice. Like, y'all made the mentalist look bad, Kohaku and Senku specifically. So he's like, oh, I'm not being played by another scientist. Like, no, this is my skill. That's when Gen comes face to face with the mysterious man himself. Again, I put woman, but I know it's a man now. Again, I've already corrected myself with that. He's intrigued by Gen and their strong warriors, which are our power team. And we've already shown them off. Like when they fought the Gators and made Gator Burgers. And it's why he attacked in the first place. He didn't want to take any chances, but he offers to take Gen to meet their leader. So that's why Stanley Snyder attacked. He saw our power team take up those massive Gators. He's like, oh, these guys are dangerous. These guys are strong. And that was Tsukasa's whole thing, being afraid of anyway. The Kingdom of Stone. It was the Kingdom of Stone. That's what Tsukasa had. He was afraid that, science would create guns, and, obviously, no matter how strong you are, you can't stand up to a bullet. You can't stop a bullet. Your fist ain't gonna stop a bullet unless you're in an anime, or a Goku. Well, Goku's an anime character. But, so, at least we now know why Stanley Snyder attacked. So, is there a chance he could be a good guy? And again, being the mentalist, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go with this guy to the enemy's base. Kawaku and Chrome, you guys hang back. We're taking a look at their base, and this man is an author with great detail and great storytelling. Everything is so drawn so beautifully. Once again, I have to show off this panel for a few seconds, just so you guys can get a good glimpse of what he did. As well as they've also come across the cornfields. So this is our second Kingdom of Science, and they've already acquired corn. We're about to meet the scientists in a second. And guys, there's some crazy twists coming up, by the way. Which also, by the way, I'm only at chapter 160, so we're not that too far away from me catching up, and we can speculate together again. But yes, it's about to be a Kingdom of Science versus a Kingdom of Science. Now, their Kingdom of American Science is also way more advanced than the one we have in Ishigami Village. It gives me Disney Princess Castle vibes, the way it's all set up. I mean, not literally like a Disney Princess Castle, but it literally looks like a castle compared to what we have in Ishigami Village. And then I don't know what a modern day laboratory looks like. I've never seen a laboratory in person, but this is giving high tech, fucking modern day Dr. Frankenstein, Frankenstein Castle kind of shit. They've even got way better farming than we do, with tractors and a factory built up. So, yeah, these guys are a lot more advanced seeming than we are. Mind you, we have... So we're going to learn something later. I don't think we learned this chapter, but, as much as we built up... Let me stop, because I want to spoil so much. But I'm just saying, these guys are ahead of us as far as, science. But like Senku said, just about a little bit. A plane, we are about to build a spaceship. So a plane falls in between that. We've got a massive ship. We've got pretty much everything in Ishigami Village right now. So, yeah, we're pretty close to, rebuilding all of humanity anyway. And it's also here we meet a new scientist. I called him an adult version of Senku, but that's not exactly true, especially what I learned later. I'm not going to spoil that because that's ahead of this video. But we also find out that the man's name here, this is where you officially learn it, is Stanley Snyder. He's ex-military, which explains the plane and his weapons and why he's so calm, smoking a cigarette while he's shooting at people. Obviously, being in the military, it's an everyday thing for him to, not saying that, military people kill people every day, but, that experience on the battlefield, and that experience with enemies, yeah, this is no big deal to Stanley. And then the scientist's name is Dr. Xeno. I don't know if I said that before. No, I haven't, because I just talked about this as a scientist. I like Dr. Xeno's design. For some reason, I remember at one point, and this isn't trying to spoil anything, but I had looked ahead at one point just to see I don't know why I looked ahead. I was on Treasure Island, I remember. But I remember seeing this guy, and I was like, oh, crap, are we on the moon already? Because, yeah, something like that. I think I was, like, trying to see how far until we got to the moon. And I thought we were on the moon, so I remember, like, stopping right here. I was like, oh, shit, this guy looks like an astronaut. No, we are still in North America. Now, I forgot to mention when Gen first entered, they dunked his hands and feet in salt water. I was confused why they did this, and I didn't mention it till now because I didn't think it'd become relevant. But it's basically like a handmade polygraph tester connected to a machine. So they can find out if Gen's lying or telling the truth based off this old school lie detector. And now Gen is feeling more insulted than ever. Like I said, again, Gen got beat as a mentalist by Kohaku and Senku. Gen's been our mentalist from day one. Gen has helped us get out of so many situations by being a mentalist. And now these guys, Dr. Xeno and Stanley Snyder, think they can outsmart him. And they don't know that Gen's a mentalist. So Gen's like, okay, bring on the challenge. I needed something to, get me ready again, get me back in my game. But Dr. Xeno isn't falling for Gen's mentalist trick so easily, though. It gives me, literally Senku, like how Senku sometimes doesn't fall for Gen's mentalist tricks, but sometimes Gen can still pull one over him. Sometimes Gen can still try to pull one over on Senku. Now, when they ask Gen the name of his leader, the scientists of they ask Gen who is his leader, and the scientists on their crew, he wants names. Dr. Xeno wants to find out who you are working for. Like, obviously you have a scientist. You guys did not build that ship by yourselves. You guys did not get this advanced tech by yourself. Somebody on your team is a scientist. Now, Gen knows he can't say Senku's name. If he says Senku, obviously Xeno's going to have power, so Gen has to play a mind trick. Now, he could have called out Ryusei. He could have called out Kohaku. He could have called out, well, not Kohaku. No offense to her, but, it'd have to be, Ryusei or Chrome. I did not expect him to say this. He said Dr. Taiju, which made me laugh so fucking hard. And then you have Taiju in another panel sneezing, just like when Chrome was like, I got a bad feeling. Somebody's talking about me whenever he was trapped behind the Kingdom of Stone's prison. It's stupid, childish humor, but it's so funny because, again, I love anime and manga, so I fit perfectly in this. This is because Gen also knows that Senku couldn't handle himself against Stanley Snyder and Dr. Xeno in a fight, but our boy Taiju could. So if they do capture Taiju for any reason, even though Taiju is not like the scientist, he'll be way strong enough to take on these guys. And so that hilarious gag was enough to make me stop the chapter. So we're going to end the chapter in the video here. Again, one more plug for Wicked. If you have not seen it, guys, go watch that movie. It's so fucking good. I mean, I don't really care for musicals like that, but I'm singing that song all day. Anyways, that's all for today's video. I got to work on BioShock within the next few days if I want to get that out by Thanksgiving. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces a choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado the Legendary Konjuis Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school because, of course, he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love BK's right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.